Today, I want to bring into awareness what I call the low hanging fruit of suffering, which is the daily grind. Things we don't really notice in our life, but it creates an underlying tone of suffering. For example, having to deal with people at work, or paying taxes, or doing things that we don't want to do, but we have to do them, like washing the dishes, or not having time to do what we really want to do. All this, like, layers and layers of things that we are needing to take care of, handle in our life. And it seems like life is an uphill battle, and we suffer through those ordeals or those things that we need to handle. Then at the end of the day, you come to a place where it's like, oh, I had such a day, such a, I feel very exhausted, and I don't want to do anything at the end of the day. Like, I'm glad that the day is over kind of feeling to it. So there's a lot of suffering, underlying suffering to this, yet most people believe that this is how life should be. We have to have some suffering, and this is the low-hanging fruit of suffering. They normalize that pain. Like, they say life sucks or life is hard. That's how it is. And what can we do about it? This is how life is. So I say to you, actually, it's unnecessary suffering. It's completely unnecessary suffering, and it comes from the lack of acceptance that we have to deal with those things. I'll give you a small story from my life. I suffer from tinnitus, which means I have a constant ringing in my ear. It's constantly going. It's like a low pitch noise that's always been there for the last 10 years. They say there is no cure to that. And when I first discovered that this is what's my life situation is, my life sentence for hearing that noise, I told myself many stories. I said to myself, I'm never going to be in a quiet place again. It's always going to have that noise in the background. I'm never going to enjoy quietness in my life. And it was really hard for me to fall asleep because all I heard was that low pitch noise that keeps going in my ears. And it was very depressing, a very, very depressing motion that I have to this is my life. And there's nothing I can do about it. So after some time, after many sleepless nights, worrying about it, feeling about it, resisting it, I realized that I have to come into acceptance, because eventually I would fall asleep after like really, really thinking about it, over listening to it. And once I accepted that this is my life, actually it normalized that suffering. I stopped looking at it. It was completely, I would say, put it in zero base, which means that most of the day I don't even hear it. If I focus my mind on it right now, it's there. But when I am doing my thing, I don't even hear it at all. I don't suffer from it. And I believe that this is what we do when we normalize the rest of the things in life. When we say we have to deal with this thing, and I cannot believe that I have to do with that. I can't believe that I have to do that thing. And I cannot believe that this is my life. I have to deal with that person. And we have to, first of all, remember that life is like a wheel. Sometimes we're up and sometimes we're down. And sometimes the good news when we're down, that it's on the way up and then comes down. So it's a constant battle between what we like in our life and what we don't like. That battle is with what we don't like, of course. But I would say to you, if you include everything as one circle, one whole circle, this is my life, then there's no resisting what we don't like. And there's no like extra tone to what we really like. It's just a whole beautiful life with no ups and downs, just like a really good, solid place to live. And you don't come to the end of the day with this feeling that you just want to sleep it off. You want to rest. You don't want to talk to people. You want to just take your time off. And, I can't believe this is my life kind of feeling. And how do you do it? By simply accepting that this is the whole. This is the whole of my life. There's no, this is my life and this is not my life. It's not like saying, because these things happen all the time. We have to deal with people. We have to deal with our life situations. Challenges come and go all the time. There's no one life that is continuously on joy and happiness and bliss. It's always a constant battle because these battles, these challenges are designed to help us grow as humans. Uh, and if you knew what the lesson would be, you wouldn't pay attention. So they have to be all these lessons have to come up so we can learn, pay attention. We say, oh my God, I can't believe this is what is. And once we stop saying I cannot believe and just say, okay, I need to take care of this. I don't like it. I accept it. Then you can move on with it. You can handle it. You can tackle it. You can actually say, well, I have to deal with that someone at work, but maybe this is my work. There are people I need to take care, I need to work with, and I don't have to deal with it. Sometimes, we have three options. We can accept everything completely, fully. If there is full acceptance on everything, there's no suffering whatsoever. The second thing we can do is we can work to change it. Perhaps there's a way to change the situation at work. Perhaps talk to that person, talk to him with your heart, not with your mind, which means to talk with no ego, address the situation, bring into awareness what is the problem and how you are feeling in this problem. What is the challenge, of course. And then the third thing we can do is to let it go. We can say, it's not for me. I don't have to deal with it. It means that person is okay. He's doing his thing, but it's not for you. And that's a good way to walk away from it. When we walk away, there's no problems. So these are the three things that we can actually do to alleviate that undercurrent suffering that is constant in our life. If you have that motion in your life to feel like you have to deal with things, you know that you have these three options. And if you don't choose one of these three options, you default into suffering, which means you suffer. If you feel resistance to life, if you feel resistance to what's happening, there is suffering that comes up from that resistance. If you accept life completely, there is no suffering. Sometimes when we are doing things with a great degree of joy and presence, we don't even notice that time passes. It's like it's been 2 hours, but it feels like 5 minutes. It's because there was no resistance to that flow of motion, to the flow of life. You were completely happy, completely content. And when life seems to be very, very slow, you're dragging on, you're creating resistance with not accepting life. And this is why it makes it even slower. Sometimes I say we need those hard moments in life and we need those challenges to create a longer life. Because if we are in complete agreements to life, then it would be like in a flash, we will go. But so we do need these challenges, these resistance, these moments that we resist, and then come back to ourselves, say, okay, I have to accept it, grow from that, and to create a place where we feel peace, love, and joy in our hearts. This is the place where we can always rest upon when we accept what is and don't overthink it, because you cannot change the will of the universe with your mind. As much as you want it to be different, as much as you don't feel happy that it's not what you wanted, it's still what is. It's still reflecting the mirror of life. And when we reflect the mirror of life and accept this is the situation we need to take care of or accept, then you live at ease with life. There's no resistance and you are in the flow. So I hope this was insightful and meaningful for you. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. If you still have resistance to what I'm saying, please challenge me. Please write me a question. I would love to hear about it. And wishing us all to live in the flow. Have a good day.